Hello and welcome to Creative Guitar Studio's Guitar Technique Episode 12. In this lesson we're going to be working on learning to perfect the use of left and right hand muting technique. Muting, if you're not familiar with it, is where the guitar strings get dampened in some manner, whether by covering the strings with the palm, known as palm muting, or by just slightly lifting up on the fretting fingers, which is often just referred to as string dampening. Now, palm muting is done by using the lower palm area of the picking hand. String dampening happens when we're just lifting up slightly with the fretting hand fingers. It's usually done with a chord shape. The result of these kinds of muting techniques is really just like a more percussive sound effect off of the strings that are getting affected. Sometimes we can call it a scratch rhythm sound or just a general percussive attack sound. So let's get things started here by studying one of the most common muting techniques performed by the picking hand. In exercise 1, we're taking a look at a very simple palm mute technique. It's just something to introduce this idea to you and help you develop that lower area of the palm. It's just that region that's closest to the small finger of your hand and just in line with the wrist right there. That's the region where it's going to be coming into contact with the string right when it rolls over the saddle. So what the idea is you want to have your heel, your palm of your hand, just right where the string rolls over the saddle here. Maybe even I could say about 1/8 of an inch or so off of that saddle. If you do that, you're going to get a really good palm muting sound. Now, if you have the inclination to move your hand too far upwards, so if your hand comes up a little bit too far away from the saddle, what you're going to find is the palm muting technique like that is going to just muffle the strings far too much. And of course, the opposite is true if you were to have your heel of your palm of your hand over more, where the saddles are, you're barely going to get any kind of action of a sound at all of the palm muting effect taking place. So really, ideally you want to find that perfect spot. Maybe it's around 1/8 of an inch or so after the string rolls over the saddle, and you have to discover that, and you have to keep practicing and searching for that right color of the note that you're picking, because if you can't find it, you're just going to have to spend a bit of time developing the technique so that eventually the right kind of sound is going to be coming out of your guitar for it. Now, what's happening in exercise 1 is we have very simple, kind of like a pentatonic melody theme that's going on. So it's really a straightforward melody, and you want to learn it, and that's what's going on in example 1A. And then in example 1B of your handout, you can see over top of the tab, right underneath the music notation, it says PM. That's the indication of the palm mute technique that's going on. And what's going to happen is you're going to find that zone, with the heel of your hand, that palm area of your hand, and then you're going to just cover slightly. So you get that flubbed out sounding note, and you still want the resonance of the color of the note, but you still, at the same time want to make sure that it has that slightly muffled sound to it, and that's going to give you a kind of a percussive effect with the note. And then when you come out of that and you lift your hand away from the guitar strings, your picking hand away, and you open things up, then what ends up happening is you get this nice open sound of the clear sound of the tone again. So use this very first exercise as a simple way to start introducing palm muting of the picking hand, and really it comes down to just finding that zone, of this area of your hand here where you're going to be using that part of the palm of the heel of the hand, I guess you could say, right where those strings are rolling over your saddles. And again, it's going to be a very short distance, maybe 1/8 of an inch or so after that saddle. That's where you're going to get the hand in there and have a nice effect of the simple palm mute of the picking hand. If you lift your hand off and you make some testing about, having the hand down, lifting the hand off, and, if your hand's too far forward, it just gets too flubbed out. If your hand's too far back, the strings just open, and you're probably going to be picking too close there to the saddles, and you're going to get that funny sound, of your pick, just, giving the string to sound too twangy. So that's just, exercise number 1. the simple palm mute introduction, getting it into your playing, finding that region and that zone of where the strings are rolling over the saddles for your type of guitar, because again, this is going to be different guitar to guitar. If you have Stratocaster, it's going to be sort of one feel. If you have a Gibson Les Paul, it's kind of another feel. If you have, sort of a semi-hollow body acoustic or something, or maybe it's a classical guitar, again, you're going to have to find these zones of where your hand has to sit to create the right kind of sound with that simple palm mute technique. So let's wrap up exercise number 1, give you a chance to practice that a little bit, and then we'll come back in the next video with exercise 2, where I've got some fret hand string dampening that I want to be going over with you. Well, that was an excerpt from the 12th lesson of my guitar technique course. The remainder of this lesson is actually available behind a paywall on my website at creativeguitarstudio.com. But I thought you'd like to see this segment, so I put it here on YouTube for you to get a better idea about what this guitar technique course has to offer. If you want to subscribe to my website and gain access to this course, along with my introductory, intermediate, and my advanced guitar program, plus many other great guitar courses on the website as well, just head over to creativeguitarstudio.com and sign up with a free lifetime membership to get started. Then you can always upgrade into either a monthly, or you could go for the discounted yearly premium membership plan. If you have any questions, you can reach me either by phone or by email. Just click on the link in the YouTube description box under where it says Become a Member Today. Smooth Jazz Chords introduces chord types that offer a very different sound from the chords that are used in almost every other style of music. The Smooth Jazz Chords video lesson is a 2-part course that demonstrates chord types that are used in the smooth jazz style. These chords are often referred to as triad over bass note chords, and the lesson demonstrates these chord shapes as well as their use using both diagrams and example progressions. Smooth Jazz Chords is available for instant download in the View Our Products area at creativeguitarstudio.com. Thanks for watching part 1 of the lesson. Be sure to sign up for a membership at creativeguitarstudio.com to watch the rest of the videos. Coming up next, we're going to have string dampening and examples of more muting techniques. Plus, as a member, you'll also be able to download the handout for this lesson, along with many more professional guitar lessons. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch up next in the members area.